The Evolutionary Tango, Why We Play Games in Love and Lust. Unraveling the ancient dance between desire and deception, and why it's so darn hard to find someone who's cut the crap. Welcome back, dear listeners, to another episode of Information for Life, insights and ideas to navigate your world. Today we're diving into the murky waters of human relationships, the old tales of love and lust, the two L's that make the world go round, or at least make it a lot more interesting. But why do some guys act like complete douchebags to get laid? And why do some women pretend to be helpless to attract a man? Is it just social conditioning, or is there something more primal at play? Buckle up, because we're about to explore the evolutionary underpinnings of these behaviors. Section 1. The douchebag phenomenon. Why some men act the way they do. The archetype and its persistence. The classic douchebag. You've met him, or at least you've heard of him. He's the guy at the bar who thinks negging, a tactic involving backhanded compliments or light insults, is a legitimate flirting strategy. But why does this behavior persist? It's not just because it's easy, it's because it's effective enough to be self-perpetuating. From an evolutionary standpoint, it all boils down to one primal goal, the dissemination of genes. The science behind the swagger. Research has delved into the psychology and evolutionary biology behind such behaviors. According to a study by Conroy Beam, Goetz, and Buss, 2016, what predicts romantic relationship satisfaction and mate retention intensity is not just the fulfillment of mate preference, but also the discrepancies in mate value. In simpler terms, men who display overconfidence or arrogance might be signaling their fitness or value to potential mates. This is a risky strategy, but as the saying goes, fortune favors the bold. The caveman connection. This isn't just a modern phenomenon. It has its roots in our prehistoric past. Von Ruden and Yacy, 2016, showed that men's status and reproductive success in non-industrial societies were influenced by factors like subsistence methods and marriage systems. In prehistoric times, the guy who could bluff his way through a confrontation with a rival tribe member or a wild animal had a better chance of survival. Confidence, even when it's a facade, can be attractive. It signals the ability to navigate complex social hierarchies and environmental challenges, which would have been crucial for survival in ancestral environments. The paradox of attraction. Now, you might wonder why a modern woman would fall for this. According to Gracia, Lloyd, Wallen, and Fisher, 2014, there's a variation in orgasm occurrence by sexual orientation, suggesting that sexual satisfaction isn't solely determined by emotional connection. Sometimes, the raw, primal aspects of attraction take over, bypassing more rational considerations. The modern caveat. So the next time you see a guy puffing out his chest like a peacock, remember, he's just doing what his caveman brain tells him to do. Except now, instead of fending off saber-toothed tigers or rival tribes, he's trying to score your number or swipe right on your profile. It's the same game, just with updated rules and a different playing field. Section 2. The damsel in distress. Why some women act helpless. The timeless archetype. On the flip side of the douchebag phenomenon, we encounter the damsel in distress. This is an age-old trope, one that has been immortalized in literature, film, and social interactions. The batting of eyelashes, the feigned helplessness. Why do some women still resort to these tactics? The evolutionary underpinnings. From an evolutionary perspective, displaying vulnerability can trigger protective behaviors in men. According to a study by Conroy Beam, Goetz, and Buss in 2016, romantic relationship satisfaction and mate retention intensity are influenced by the fulfillment of mate preferences and value discrepancies. In simpler terms, showing vulnerability can be a way for a woman to assess a man's willingness to provide and protect, which, in a world fraught with dangers, would have increased the likelihood of offspring survival. The biological imperative. This behavior is not merely a social construct, but has biological roots. In ancestral environments, a woman who could elicit protection and resources from a man had a better chance of ensuring her offspring would reach adulthood. This is not to say that women are biologically determined to act helpless, but rather that the behavior can be understood as part of a broader reproductive strategy. The complexity of modern interactions. However, It's crucial to note that these evolutionary behaviors exist in a complex interplay with modern societal norms and expectations. The study by Garcia, Lloyd, Wallen, and Fisher in 2014 on the variation in orgasm occurrence by sexual orientation suggests that sexual and romantic behaviors are influenced by a myriad of factors, including emotional connection and societal roles. Therefore, while the damsel in distress act may have evolutionary roots, it's also shaped and constrained by contemporary cultural factors. The modern caveat. So the next time you see a woman acting like she can't open a jar of pickles, don't be too quick to judge. She might just be channeling her inner cave woman, trying to find a mate who can fend off the metaphorical woolly mammoths of the modern world, be they financial instability, emotional challenges, or even literal dangers. Section 3. The rarity of authenticity. Why it's so hard to find truly confident and independent individuals. The elusive ideal. In a world where the douchebag and the damsel in distress often take center stage, the genuinely confident and independent individual seems like an endangered species. You might be asking yourself, why is it so difficult to find someone who embodies these traits authentically? The answer is more complex than you might think, and it's deeply rooted in our evolutionary history and psychological makeup. The evolutionary handbrake. Evolution has programmed us to be cautious, to weigh the risks and rewards of our actions carefully. According to von Ruden and Yacy in 2016, men's status and reproductive success in non-industrial societies were influenced by various factors, including their ability to assess risks effectively. This cautiousness is not just about physical dangers, but extends to emotional and social risks as well. Being truly confident and independent means confronting and overcoming these deeply ingrained insecurities, which is no small feat. The emotional landscape. The journey to authentic confidence and independence is fraught with challenges. It's akin to swimming upstream in a river teeming with emotional piranhas. These quote-unquote piranhas could be past traumas, societal expectations, or even our own self-doubt. Sure, you might make it to the other side, but you are likely to sustain a few bites along the way. The paradox of preference. Adding another layer of complexity, Conroy, Beam, Goetz, and Buss in 2016 found that romantic relationship satisfaction and mate retention intensity are influenced not just by the fulfillment of mate preferences, but also by discrepancies in mate value. In other words, even if you are genuinely confident and independent, finding a compatible partner involves navigating a maze of mutual preferences and perceived value, which can be emotionally exhausting. The orgasmic dilemma. Moreover, Gracia, Lloyd, Wallen, and Fisher, 2014, showed that there's a variation in orgasm occurrence by sexual orientation, suggesting that sexual satisfaction is not a one-size-fits-all phenomenon. This adds another layer of complexity to finding a genuinely compatible partner, as even the most confident and independent individuals must navigate the intricate landscape of sexual compatibility. The final word. So, the next time you find yourself lamenting the scarcity of truly confident and independent individuals, remember that these traits are hard-won, that require a person to confront and overcome a host of evolutionary, emotional, and social challenges. And for those who do, the journey is often a solitary one, fraught with trials, but also the potential for immense personal growth. Section 4. The complex tapestry of human relationships, a journey worth taking. And there we have it, folks. A deep dive into the perplexing yet fascinating world of human relationships, all backed by science and a dash of humor, I hope. We may not have all the answers, but we've certainly got plenty of questions worth asking. After all, the journey to understanding is a never-ending one, and that's what makes it so incredibly rewarding. As we wrap up this exploration into the enigmatic behaviors that often characterize modern datings and relationships, it's clear that the landscape is far from simple. From the swaggering bravado of the classic douchebag to the calculated vulnerability of the damsel in distress, these archetypes persist because they tap into deep-seated evolutionary drives and psychological mechanisms. But let's not forget the rare gems, the authentically confident and independent individuals who defy these stereotypes. Their scarcity is not a mark against human nature, but rather a testament to the difficulty of the journey towards genuine self-actualization. We've delved into the science, the psychology, and the evolutionary biology that underpin these behaviors. We've seen how risk and reward, deeply embedded in our DNA, influence our choices and how societal norms and personal preferences add layers of complexity. But at the end of the day, each of us has the agency to break free from these archetypes, to confront our insecurities, and to strive for a more authentic existence. So, whether you're navigating the dating scene, entrenched in a long-term relationship, or happily single, remember that the quest for authenticity is a journey worth taking. It's fraught with challenges, yes, but also ripe with opportunities for growth, for connection, and for finding joy in the beautifully complex tapestry that is human interaction. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Information for Life, Insights and Ideas to Navigate Your World. Until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep being you.